Hello, my fellow nerds. This is Oracle Nerd here, and before we start this episode, I need to let you guys know something. I recorded an entire episode for this series, literally earlier today. It was an hour long, but for some reason, OBS was not recording the freaking audio, and I don't know why that is. I don't understand. Like, I literally have all the things. It's all set to default and stuff, but like, I don't know why it wasn't capturing my voice or the game's audio in general. But like, uh, I just don't get it sometimes, man. Like, I don't understand why OBS does these things to me. So now I'm gonna have to speed through everything that I just read throughout the entire hour, so that at least now you guys can at least hear me read the entire thing. I get nervous when they approach the edge of the pond, shooting up instinctively, but I get locked in place when she steps across the water as if it were more ground. Some of the herd follow onto the water like a bunch of horses following a farmer with a basket of apples. I tell myself to check on the others, but even as I keep urging myself to look away, I can't bring myself to do so. And of course, since I'm staring at them, they catch me doing just that. Wave. I snapped out of my trance. I didn't even know what I entered when they looked back at me. I waved, feeling awkward. Awkward now. They waved back, a little forced. It's a little forced. My heart races from the embarrassment. I've stumbled this much interacting with someone. I haven't stumbled this much interacting with someone since I was a teenager. There's something undeniably humiliating, but also wonderfully grounding. There's no real harm in looking, but I'm doing a poor job of acting like a friend. It it had to be some form of bad luck that the most attractive person I've ever seen happens to be a fairy, and not only a fairy, but not even one interested in being entangled. I respect their decision. It was their right, but I'd be lying if I said missing out on the chance was killing me a little. They find their way over to me, interrupting my wild thoughts. They hand me a piece of bread to throw. They move to my side. Their body bumps into my shoulder. Which I was content to watch, but it was sweet of them to even include me. There's so many, they say, looking down at the mob of ducks quacking and waddling about. They never want for food. One white duck contradicts my previous statement by gobbling every last crumb as if it's their first meal in weeks. They're kinder than geese, at least. When we were kids, Violet and I told Needy that the geese would mistake her for a bug and eat her. A trail of laughs escapes me, properly tickled by the idea they all look too pleased with the memory. That's quite cruel. You sound like my friend Mercer. Bastard was always trying to break the balls of the new recruits. Figure of speech. No balls were broken, thankfully. I was so worried. I give them a playful swat of the hand. Are very scared of geese. Isn't everyone? They chuckle a little shyly. Well, I suppose you wouldn't be a very good monster hunter if you were. Also, what I was trying to say in the first part of the video is that geese actually have teeth on their tongues, and I'm pretty sure they're serrated too. That's actually very very creepy. I'm not sure why they were built like that. I'll let you in a little secret. What's that? I'm scared of spiders. I faced many nightmarish beasts, but somehow it's the spindly leg of a spider that still managed to shake me to my core. Spiders? Really? We have quite a few spiders back home. They're happy to live and let live. Can be affectionate even. I shudder at the very thought. Most to Ducky, most spiders were the size of a lap dog or a small house cat. Geese will remember your face and attack you if you get too close. If you see a spider, however, let me know. I'll make sure they don't bug you. I find myself chuckling a little too much at the pun, even though a part of me wanted to correct that spiders are in fact not bugs. I wasn't willing to be irritating enough to correct an innocent joke. I can't stop myself from tittering away. What's gotten into me? You can count on it. There's almost always one in my tent. Even the inns aren't safe, especially during the winter. It's so funny. They giggle. The sound is pleasant, tinkly like a wind chime. I look at them, their eyes shining more brilliantly than the equally blue sky and water reflecting just beneath. Their long hair dances in the gentle breeze. Their head tilts. I curse myself for gawking again after barely getting away with it once before. What's wrong? I swallow. Nothing. Forgot what I was going to say is all. Their lips twist together in a little funny look, like they're trying to decipher something. They're all so fat! We hear Violet yell. Ducky goes over to join them, and I catch my breath. This isn't good. I know that. I know the feeling. I know myself and what I like well enough at this point. In my heart of hearts, I know all of this, but I still continue to leer at them for as long as I can. We find ourselves enjoying our time so much that the sun is preparing itself to set. What's the plan, pals? Would you like to camp or book a room for the night? They exchange a look, whisper for a moment before nudging Ducky towards me to act as their messenger. They want to see a human in. They cross their arms over their chests, amused by the absurdity. I tried telling them that it's not all that exciting. They're not really meant to be thrilling. We're better off making our own fun. Get at that. I don't know if they mean themselves and the sisters or us. I dare not even ask. Even if the look in their eyes is a little suggestive, I enjoy it. But at what cost? My heart is only getting weaker with age. I'll get us 2 beds then. One for me. I'm sure you can fit half a willow post in yours. Sounds like a sleepover. Oh, we haven't had a sleepover in ages. And never with a man before. I don't even see Violet's eyes as they're already halfway in her head. Liar, we've all had sleepovers with men, regrettably. Speak for yourself, V. I enjoyed those visits. Remember when we dated the same guy, only discovered he was to discover he was a twin? Ducky's eyes dart around, biting her lip. We've always had the same type. It's true they have the worst. No offense, Garrett. You think I'm the worst? I do a poor job suppressing some of my disappointment in my voice, and I'm sure she's observant enough to notice it. Garrett's not the worst. I know they're trying to help. I'm even pleased with their defense, but being one step above the worst man isn't exactly high praise. Wait, Ducky Stepperman was me? I'm you guys' usual type. Needy's too busy tittering to answer. Ducky nods a little knowingly. And what's that exactly? I dare to ask, foregoing all caution. The type that's not good for you. And the disappointment comes back with a vengeance. I see. They're more fun that way. Needy attempts to reassure me. Ducky doesn't agree, I notice, at least not verbally. I turn my gaze away. Lucky for me, I don't need to be the one to keep the conversation flowing. If I want an overgrown child to hang out with, I'll just spend time with you, Needy. Did you hear that, Ducky? They nod. She thinks I look young. Yeah, that's totally what I meant. She agrees. Ducky eggs on, throwing a wink at me before flying over, waiting for my next move. I make my way back to inside. Not so soon. We'd like to get a room. I watch Darian's eyes bounce from one fairy to the other. I curse myself for not thinking about what I'd said beforehand. He chuckles low in a way that makes me want to bathe. After a few too many uncomfortable looks and silence, we're checked in and given the key to our room. Needy and Violet rush over to the bed as soon as they spot it, crashing and tumbling across its surface. Eventually they topple over and lie there still for a moment, as if they died from the impact. Violet curls into a single blanket, closing her eyes, and Needy begins to make angels. This is so lovely. What is it made of? Animal hide. Needy shoots a look over to Violet. It's their skin with the fur with it. Needy lets out a shrill shriek before they calm her down by telling her fairies done the same with field mice and squirrels. I check Ducky's expression, who's checking mine. We share a laugh before I wander over to the bed and they to theirs. In the morning, we'll go looking for Bradamar. It's best to travel in those woods during the day. Is it dangerous? It's not uncommon to run into a bear or even a harpy. We'll be fine. I suggest we all get as much rest as possible. I roll onto my back, leaving the oil lamp on. The sun falls away in the next hour or so, and I lie there still wide awake. Before long, I hear a quite loud snore from something so small. I turn to look. Ducky covers their mouth with a laugh. I look at them until they turn to look at me. When they eventually look, I'm out the words. Who is that? Instead of mouthing words back, they make their way over to me in a surprise. May I? Sit on my bed? I ask with my eyes. There's plenty of room as is, but I make more room just in case, and they sit beside me. Hello? Hi? I ask, unable to suppress my confusion, laugh, or delight. That's Needy, by the way. Violet doesn't snore, but she flails around in her sleep. Too bad you didn't get to have the bed to yourself. You'd have gone 2 beds if it was just us. You'd have asked to stay in my bed if it were just us. They seem to realize and go a little shy. I perhaps that wouldn't have been appropriate. I'd have I'd have I'd have let you. I'm a gentleman. I'm more worried I'd hurt you in my sleep. Better better I'd given you a nail to hold in your sleep in case I get too close. I'm afraid Needy and Violet aren't the only ones incapable of still and silent sleep. I see. They look around for a moment before speaking again. Do you think Bradamar will be able to help us? The expression gave away all their nerves. I brought a finger over to her hand in an admittedly weird attempt to comfort them. They look they look between our touch and me. I lower my voice, keeping it as hushed as possible not to wake the other two. I do. If he, if he can't help, maybe he can direct us to someone who can. You don't think it's impossible? I'll admit, I always have a healthy amount of doubt, but I believe you'll stop at nothing to get until you get it, so I think we'll find something that works. Why are you so kind to me? Don't say it's just because I'm cute. Well, it makes it easier. No one can be too cruel to a puppy or a babe. So I'm either an animal or a child. If you were, I'd never have invited you to stay at the night with me. It's reassuring. Fairies must get away with all sorts of mischief. You have no idea. But really, why? It stings a little that they feel the need to ask. I'm no saint, but I don't need a reason to be kind to others. The least I can do is return it. Everyone's owed that much. There's something they there's something they look like they want to say, but shake it away. You're a good friend to me. I feel as if I've known you all my life, as odd as it may seem. The sentiment is one I share. Perhaps our souls touched in the celestial heights. They give me a suspicious look, as if asking, what kind of cheesy line is that? But after a moment, their head tilts, much like a curious pup. Never heard that? It means that we might have known each other in a different life. Never, but I like it. Their voice continues to soften, almost like a whisper. Maybe they did touch. My mouth goes a little dry by the way they say it. I wonder what it's like to be human. I don't think it's all too different from being a fairy. Besides, every state of Alira, Illyria, it's quite different from the other. Willow Post isn't too unlike going to Anaterra or New Hampton. But I do wonder what it would be like to be a small, be like to be so small and to fly. It looks fun. You don't think anything of it. You can walk. You can walk. You can walk on water too. Is that something all fairies do, or just Dulets? Dulet technique. Fairies can, but they have to flap their wings to balance. I don't. You never fail to impress me. Pause. I've been thinking. 100 possibilities fill my mind. What about? You spoke of your fondness for company in the past. It seems to trouble you. I can feel the air surround us dampen a little. We all do things or act in ways we regret. I'm ashamed to admit it, but there was a time where I viewed others as a means to an end. My job was stressful, and I was always looking for a form of release, I suppose. You gain a lot of praise amongst your fellow man when you're able to garner attention from the opposite sex. It's incredibly stupid to think about it now, but I was young, well, for most of it. They continue to listen, urging me to speak when I feel I've said more than said my piece. But even so, I keep speaking. People knew who knew me, they think that's who I am now. It's true, I'm unmarried, it's fair to assume. I just wish I could scrub my reputation and start anew. I understand. I believe them when they say it. Perhaps it changes little, but I don't see that in you. There's no shame to be found in it, enjoying the company of others. There's just a lot of expectations that comes along with it. You're right, and I wasn't tactful in how I handled the hearts of those I shared a bed with. Do you not desire marriage? I don't know. I suppose I don't, given I've never sought it out. Just thought if I met the right person, it would happen. I've never been one to force anything. Whatever it meant to be, will be. Besides, having a spouse or children, it's hard to maintain that with the life I lead. Always traveling, always one foot in the grave. What good of a partner or father would I be if I weren't there? I feel worn out by the sound of my own voice, and the way my heart tightens as the conversation goes on. What about you? They lean back, looking up at the ceiling. Someday, there are many things I'd like to do before I'm married. Can't do them when you are? I suppose I could, only that life seems to still when you're married. Still, you say? My parents fell into a rhythm they couldn't break after they married. Waking up early, one works, one cleans, both caught in a web of expectations from their neighbors, each other, even their children. It's not wrong. My parents never seemed to mind. It's just, it's just not what I envisioned for myself. I, I never heard of someone who puts words so effortlessly. I feel similarly. It's no small undertaking. I'm not ready for such a thing. And perhaps I never will. That's okay. Only you know what's best for you. As long as you found peace, what more is there to say? I nod, my heart constricting and now loosened. I like taking off a tourniquet. You're too brilliant in looks, of course, but especially in mind. They resemble a strawberry then, just looking just as plump and sweet. Will you tell me a story of one of your travels? I wasn't expecting that request, but I'd be a fool to turn them down. I shuffled a little, careful not to displace them too much as I sat up. I could do that. There's one I could think of you might find fun. They leaned to their side, mimicking me, waiting patiently for me to start. Okay, let's. I actually did pick the story of Dreadguard, but I might as well pick it again so you guys can actually hear me read it. I chose to tell them the story of how I became a member of the Guard. A young man stupidly pursuing the life of a bandit, only to be nearly killed on my first run. I would have been killed had Mercer, a member of the Dread Guard we'd foolishly attempted to attack, not since the Banshee ambush. I fought alongside him and his group, living to see another day, only to be proposed would join the Guard after, and the rest was history. I watched Ducky's eyelids grow heavy midway through, but I never been one to kick a gorgeous being out of my bed. The story was cut short by their snores. I chuckled to myself, delicately picking them up. Their eyes peeked open, but I gave them a small smile to reassure them it was no trouble. I set them beside the other girls and brought a throw to put over them all. Absolutely precious. I'm awoken by the shuffling of and hushed talk coming from the bed beside me. I blink away my exhaustion, feeling it in every crease and crevice of my body. Rising from my bed, I grunt, bracing my back a bit. Good morning. I wave weakly, head swimming. It must be a sign of my age that takes me 5 more minutes every year to fully awaken. Oh, whoops, sorry. The trio looks already ready to go. I'll pack us some food for the trip. In less than an hour, we're all packed and venture off to the Hummingbird Woods. Despite leading the group, Ducky ends up ahead of me. Hey, try to stay close by. It should be safer this time, but that doesn't mean we can be careless. Their shoulders jerk up. They slow and begin fidget with their hands. Don't worry, I just don't want anything to snatch you up. So, how likely is it for Ducky to be human? Nita looks at me more curious and skeptical. I won't say it's a short thing. There are many specifics to magic that only an expert can know. What we seek isn't for Ducky to be human, as much as we need them to appear to be. Violet seems to be at a loss for what to say, looking at Ducky every so often. I won't let anything happen to them. I tell her. We trust ya. Violet side-eyes her, but doesn't disagree, nodding to me. Before long, I spot some smoke billowing just above a canopy line. I stop, and the others follow suit. Is that it? Possibly. Let's be careful. Now, before too long, a little house, not one I'd necessarily attribute to a hermit, it's quite quaint. There's shuffling and the sound of birds chirping from out inside the place. I take a deep breath before knocking on the door. Ducky's eyes are glued on me. I nod, giving them as gentle a smile as I can muster despite my growing nerves. The door opens and pops out, well, not an elderly man with a long beard. Instead, a picture of youth, a young, light-haired man without so much as a single hair on his face. Still draped in a long dark blue robe and a large hat to go along with it, though it sits at an angle on his head. I catch the smell of not bonfire smoke, but some other type of smoke wafting off of him. He looks me up and down. The longer he does, the more suspicious he grows. What is a monster hunter doing here? I have a certification to do homunculus study, you'll know. His eyes dart around and widen as he spots one of the three. A fairy? Multiple? Eventually, they all flutter around me. Sir Bradamar, your name was given to me when I asked for a magical aid. His mistrust for me before is completely absent, as he doesn't so much as meet my eyes, gawking at deer shamelessly. So, could you help us? I'm sure I can offer some assistance. What do you need? His eyes still don't meet mine. It's irritating. When I trace his gaze, they're fixated on Ducky, who looks at me inquisitively. What's your name, miss? I clear my throat sharply. Their name. I feel a small touch on my arm, stalling me. It's all right, Garrett. My name is Ducky, Sir Bradamar. Did Miss not bother them? You don't mind it? It's okay, as long as it doesn't come with expectations. I'm not sure what they mean, but if it doesn't bother her, then I won't question it. I look between them. Ducky is utterly enamored, maybe because she's excited. The wizard, on the other hand, is equally taken by them. Not surprising, but very much not necessary. You're friends, I take it. Violet, needy. Well met. It seems fairies are all shades of lovely. I roll my eyes. Now I wish they had been a batty old man. Come inside. You too, Gerald. That's Garrett. Garrett Howell. Right. Well, I'm Chadwick. Chadwick Bradamar. Though my friends just call me Chad. Bro wishes he was a Giga Chad. I just graduated from Lenonia last fall. Moved out here not long after. Your house is cute. Glad you think so. Here, take a seat. He directs us to sit at the dining room table. So, can I be of assistance? Before I can shape a word, Ducky speaks. It's for me. His eyebrow rise right along the corners of his lips. And how can I help you, love? I feel my eye twitch. I'm trying to buy an apartment in Sparrows, but they don't rent to fairies. Oh, they sure don't. But I thought maybe if I could appear human, I could purchase it myself. He laughs to himself, or at her, I'm not sure. It best be the former. It's quite the request. So you're seeking something of a glamour spell. Exactly. He leans back in his chair, kicking his feet onto the table, theatrically thinking and stroking his non-existent beard on his weak chin. After a moment, as we watch him, I think I might have to berate Therian for recommending us to this fool. My thoughts are interrupted by Bradamar, rather Chadwick, dropping from his chair. I'm disappointed when he doesn't fall. Fall? What a sight that would have been. You're fairies. You're just now noticing. Get him, Violet, I inwardly cheer. Yes, I noticed that I noticed. What I meant was that I've done quite a lot of study into fairies and fairy culture. Really? Yes, indeed. We made a recent discovery. It's quite the tale. I promise it'll make it interesting. Despite myself, I'm interested in what he has to say. There's something Gia told me that would contradict him. Fairies are in a strange place in the world of Illyria. As I physiologically closer to Anaterans than humans, but unlike them, possess magic. My theory is that fairies may be a descendant relatives for potentially direct descendants of Nephilim. Oh, right. So this is one of the things I was trying to talk about in my original recording of this episode. Is that this game actually the writer of the game actually Joy commented on the previous video and said that this game actually takes place but before Rectifier. Okay, wait. I think I could probably. Okay, if I could probably like edit in the comment real quick. She said something along the lines of like, "Yes, all my fantasy stories take place in the same universe. Lord of Lies, this one, Golden Bonds, Rectifier, and actually Rectifier apparently takes place after this one. So stuff like that and details like that in games is just something that I absolutely love, and I really wish I could see more of in like, many indie games because like I love seeing all these connected timelines and universes and stuff. And anyways, oh yeah. Also to explain it, it's because the main character of Rectifier is a Nephilim. If I remember right, they're like the angel people that was in Rectifier. I can't hold in my chuckle. He shoots me an annoyed look. It's funny, Dreadguard. Your knowledge is based on Nephilim existing? Yes, I have it. Just seems a little improbable. What seems improbable to me is a man nearly triple my age, not understanding the world is full of many mysteries. Does the existence of monsters seem entirely logical to you? I'd like to hear the rest of the theory. I sigh, leaning back in my chair, arms folded across my chest, as if I could get away with it. If I could get away with it, I could take a nap. He's feeding them some fanciful nonsense, and I just had to sit here and stomach it. As I was saying, I believe Nephilim existed, and there's evidence to suggest they did. And if so, my colleagues and I are certain that some of the properties they possessed, such as shapeshifting, could be present in fairies. Tell me, Ducky, is it true that fairies can shrink at will? Well, yes, I've never been all too great at it personally. But it is possible. Yes. Marvelous. Well, instead of shapeshifting, I do believe fairies can learn magic necessary to not only shrink at will, but grow as well. Her eyes go wide, practically twinkling, usually my favorite sight, but knowing it was this fool who brought those stars to their eyes, sickens me. So what, you're going to teach Ducky how to grow, just like that? Well, perhaps it's too much for the magically challenged, but such a thing can be learned in about a week with rigorous study. And if we don't have a week? Ducky looks at me confused. It's best not to idle too long in one place. But what if it's the only way? Are, are we really going to leave if this would work? If we have no proof, just this student's word to go off of. I pride myself on not using any harsh terms that come to mind. Graduate, Gerard. Garrett. I snap. Guys! I sneer at my short temper. There were a few who knew how to get under my skin, especially those half my age. Garrett, can we not try at least? If I don't pick up on it sooner, we can leave. The desperation was clear, and having them beg to me in front of the girls, and now this Bradamar, didn't sit right with me. Ducky, you don't need to beg me. I just don't want to wait your time wasted. It's too easy for young men to make pretty promises, but how many can actually deliver? Oh, mark my words, chap. I can deliver. Just sit back and watch. Now, Ducky, would you come with me for just a moment? Luckily, I don't have to step in before Violet does. Can we not come? I wasn't excluding you all. This just concerns Ducky, unless, of course, you two would also like to learn. That's not... We can be human too? Well, you can be the size of a human, but I think we'd be able to make it so you can either make your wings and antennae invisible or retract them. Not necessary. We can retract our wings and fold our antennae against our heads if we need to. Something comes to mind then. let's say all this works. What if they shrink back accidentally? This doesn't seem like a foolproof plan, as well as a week of wasted effort. He doesn't answer immediately. Ducky looks concerned, and I find some satisfaction in that. You know what, Grant? You may be right. I'm so stunned he admitted I was right. I don't even catch till he said my name wrong again. It would take too long. Perhaps I could develop a potion to mimic the effect. That sounds even more dodgy than learning the spell. But I happen to major in potion making. All of you know amongst my many others, but if you're so unsure, why don't you try it first? What about you? Fair point. I will too. How does that sound? I dug my nails into my palms. I don't know what he intends to do. There's no reason why he wouldn't help us, but there's also no reason why he would. I catch Ducky in the corner of my eye. It's her decision. I can't take that from them. They're pleading with their eyes, even if she's not trying to. I'll do it, but I don't know how it's supposed to affect us the same way it does a fairy. It's only to prove that it's not toxic. It won't be. I want to help Ducky and her friends. You're the only one who doubts my abilities. Ultimately, it should be Ducky's choice to make. But if you insist on butting in, Ducky's important to me. All these girls are. And I won't have some hotshot with fire fingers getting them hurt. Are you one of these girls' husband? No. No. What difference does that make? Not as much. I'm not even attempting to hide my disgust anymore. Ducky, I'm interested in you, and selfishly, I'd love it if you could become human. Needy and Violet gasp. Are you serious? I want to say something, but what can I say? You would? What? Why aren't they turning him down? Weren't they? Was it just for a no from me? I thought, yes, from the moment I saw you, I knew I had to get to know you. I want to help you and the others. I believe it'll work. Will you let me help you? My heart thrums attentively against my chest like a suspenseful drum. Yes, and probably sinks to my feet. I find myself sitting in the living room of a total stranger as the girls chat away amongst each other. As said stranger works away at a potion that may or may not work. Stuck. That's what I am. There's no way to come out of this with everyone winning. Ducky has to put their faith in this man. I fear it's for all the wrong reasons. He doesn't have her best interest in mind. I don't know if he truly likes them. Of course, she was being beyond comparison, and a simpleton with two working eyes can see it that much, but he hadn't even spoke to them longer than an hour before declaring his feelings. It was ridiculous. He's just a stupid boy. He couldn't give them what they needed. His intentions couldn't be pure. He saw was praise and attention. He wasn't going to hurt Ducky if I could help it, even if she hated me for it. I shake my head. Why am I getting all worked up? It's their choice. She was just as grown as I. I trusted them. I know they're not half-witted, but they were gullible. My feet make the decision before my mind does. I stand at the table where the girls are sitting and giggle, all giggly. No doubt speaking of what transpired, particularly Bradamar's interest. I hope it's at his expense, but I know them better. It's probably not. Ducky, can I have a word outside just for a moment? I ignored the widening eyes of the other two, as well as Violet pulling Needy to her side. Of course. She gives the sisters a little farewell before joining me at the door. We step outside in the midday sun peeking through the trees. It's admittedly a very idyllic location to live. Honestly, if I could live in a cabin in the woods, I probably would. But then again, I kind of like being with people and interacting and socializing. So, humans are social creatures by nature, so it makes sense. I wonder if I'd gone to a place like this had I decided to leave the Dreadguard. Was it too late to settle for a life like this? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. They begin. I urge her on. In terms like Miss, Lady, Woman, I never really hated them. It's just those terms always come with a role to fill. You understand, don't you? Being a wife, a mother, someone soft and docile. I think women are more than that. I think I must be something other too, even even if I like being seen as a woman also. I'm as much a woman as I am other. I'll never fully understand what she means, but I don't need to. I'm t- I am taking her word for it. Everything they say is the truth. Undisputed, infallible, absolute truth. I understand. If anything changes, let me know. I'd hate to upset you. Thank you, Garrett. You rarely upset me. Rarely? Well, I'm not comfortable when others argue around me. I apologize. It wasn't my intention. Usually I'm quite cool-headed. Like with those men at the bar. I nod. Then, why Chadwick? I've never been fond of those cocksure types. I, I also, well, you're certainly no fool, but this is all new to you, and I don't want you to get roped into a bad deal. Is there a reason you don't trust him, other than his demeanor? Just got a feeling. I know young blokes like that. They'll do anything to impress a pretty face. I wasn't expecting him to make his feelings so clear, though. Then maybe there's more than meets the eye. Maybe, but are you gonna put yourself at risk to find out? I think everything comes with a risk. I took a chance on trusting you. That's different. How so? I'm annoyed. I can't think of a proper response. It's just my instincts. We monster hunters have good ones. I, th- you don't think your judgment is clouded? I don't. I'm looking out for you, for the others. I appreciate that, but I disagree. I think he's who he claims to be, just as I believe you. You just don't believe that he might have ulterior motives because you like him too? Because you like him too? It comes off, well, it's not great. And if I do, what concern is that of yours? I can care for you as a friend. It doesn't have to do with anything else. It takes some of the sting out of my statement when I can't even bring myself to mention some of the more romantic things between us. Trust me, Garrett. Just as you've done before, you don't let your jealousy change that. Jealousy? I scoff. I want to elaborate, but I'm not brave enough to speak anything more. Ducky has for a moment, debating something. Chadwick said the potion will take a couple days. He has to run tests, so I thought we'd go to the jamboree. Unless you think that's a bad idea too. I'm not trying to be your father. You can go. You can do whatever pleases you. I don't know why it worries me so much. Is it because you care for me? Don't you? I don't know what they're asking, or why they're asking. It's obvious, but I can't bring myself to answer. Ducky sighs. We'll discuss it more later. I'm at the age that any time I can reclaim my youth is a win, but this time it felt like a total loss. Busy myself with watching birds, sharpening my dagger, and identifying the flora. A field of primarily daisies, pink ones, yellow ones, some white with yellow centers. It reminds me of them. I wonder if it's their favorite flower. They match the pendant she has. I spent another hour or so gathering my strength before I dared to come back inside. Eventually, I mustered up the courage, and standing at the door, my hand to it as I wrestled with all the mixture of emotions tangled in my chest. The one with the forefront, his disappointment. Not just myself, but how I can't seem to control how I feel. I can't even put a name to it. The worst thing is Ducky thinking Chadwick has her interest in mind more than I do. I have to prove otherwise. I can't do that from out here. I enter and see everyone sitting, listening to Chadwick. Something, ratios, measurements, it sounds dull. Garrett. Violet greets me, interrupting Chadwick's speech. If I'm not mistaken, she sounds relieved. I take a seat amongst the group and try not to be too discouraged when Ducky doesn't so much as meet my gaze. So the jamboree. Have you heard of it before? No? Do they sell jam? Sometimes, but it's more of a time for music and dancing. I'm not much of a dancer. Do you not want to go? Is there more of that mead? More mead than food, though the food is better than you'd think. She seems to have warmed up to the idea. The jamboree is serviceable. The parties we had back at Lenonia, now that was something else to see. There was no shortage of booze, that was for sure. I knew a man who could drink an entire keg by standing on his hands, drinking it upside down like this. He drops his hands and does a handstand. His robes drop and I glance away, but the three fall over in a fit of laughter at the sight. Please tell me you had undergarments. Mm-hmm, white ones. Eee. Violet laughs, shoving her. Apologies, I didn't intend to expose myself. Those academy parties get a little out of hand. I catch myself. Or so I've heard. I was unruly back in my day as well. I've no doubt. You look like a man who's seen many uncivilized things. Or and continue to, or including you, is what I wanted to say, but I choose not to nod instead. Are you going to the jamboree with us? I ask against my will, reminding myself I've done much more difficult things in my life. I'd love to, but I need as much time as possible to focus on perfecting this concoction. I, ba- I barely hear his response as Ducky looks at me then, in something like approval. It helps the bitterness in my throat go down. Garrett, what did you do before when you were in the Dread Guard? I remember you said you sown your wild oats in your youth. Were you a farmer? Oh no, that's not. Chadwick breaks into a fit of laughter. Quite braggadocious of you, my friend. Ducky looks around confused. Am I missing something? It was a figure of speech. I was saying I'd gone around, realizing that two could also be misinterpreted. I'd coupled frequently in my past, as we discussed before. My voice gets smaller as I speak. I was a lowly thief in my youth. Never made an honest living in my day when in my life until I joined the guard. Never went to a fancy school like Chad here. Seems you two don't know each other all that well, I take it. Garrett and I met a season back. I asked him to escort me to Sparris. I see. I'm surprised such a stud didn't try anything with you. Well, the girls giggle. It's as if everything I've ever done in my past has come back to haunt me. No such luck? His eyes finding mine, something wicked crossing his features. That bitterness I've held begins to come up again, and I don't think I can swallow it as I did before. So instead of fighting it, as calmly as I can manage, flee. I, Garrett? Door shuts behind me. It opens a moment later. Are you okay? I've faced enough embarrassment for a lifetime. I'm sorry, Garrett. I didn't know. It's okay. It's not you. I can't stand him. You can do what you want, keep whatever company you want. You don't need my permission. I know. I'm just telling you that the sooner the potion is made and tested, the happier I'll be. Garrett. My heart is already racing, but it heightens as I continue to say my name. I shut my eyes, as if bracing for a punch. She doesn't speak. I peek to check her expression. It's something I can't quite make out. What is it? If you really think it's a waste of time, then I trust you. If you truly want to leave, I'll go with you. She'd risk that just so I feel better? I couldn't ask that of them. Ducky, no, look. Maybe I overreacted. He seems to know what he's talking about. The whole lecture he was giving you. I hate for you to lose out on this chance because of me. Admittedly, I'm not always right. I do believe he cares for you and will do what he can to get to, well, I guess to probably be with you. Can't blame the guy. Next question is a dangerous one, but I know I have to ask, even if it puts me in an uncomfortable spot. Luckily, I'm already as low as it gets when it comes to shame. Not that you couldn't have changed your mind, but why this guy? It's not like that. He'll help me if he thinks there's a chance, right? I furrow my brow, surprised, maybe even a little relieved, but it makes me think. So am I escorting you? No! They cut me off. Not like that. Garrett. The door swings open. Lucky, he finished it. So soon? We fill the room once again. Chadwick holds up the potion like a trophy. I thought it would take longer, but I remembered I had some notes that from my visit to Skyward my first year at the academy, when we did this experiment last year. Only it was on a weasel. A weasel? It's about the size of a donkey now. It's cute. We have learned a lot since then, knowing what I do What I do now, there is a way to reverse its effects if I manage to mess up. Have you ever heard of an annulling agent? I have. Works to undo hexes and curses. Yes, that's the common usage, but it can work for low-level spells and medleys such as this all the same. The mention of the Skyward and the annulling clues me into the fact that he's no average citizen. Ducky was right to put his trust in him. Of course, there's still a healthy amount of skepticism, but it seems legit. What did we sign up for? Or we? So does that mean you're going to do it, V? We're in this together, aren't we? It'll be safer to travel if we're all humans, right? Just say you don't want to be left out. She teases her gently. I just don't want you two human-sized freaks hurting little old me. Well, what do you think, Garrett? I'll be here regardless, if it all goes according to plan or horrifically wrong. Not horrifically. Have more faith in me than that. I have your word that this won't harm any of them, not even a cough. That weasel is alive and healthy today, and that portion came with a lot more risks. I bet my teleporting mirror on it. What is that? The most expensive thing I own in this house is worth more than this house and everything in it. It allows the user to go anywhere it shows. Remarkable thing. Only a few in existence. You can have it if anything goes wrong, but nothing will. I graduated top of my class and I have a diploma to prove it. I look at him. Ducky, all these girls are worth more to me than that mirror is to you. Remember that. It's a threat, a subtle one, and the only one who needs to pick up on the fact does. My word. Then who wants to go first? I will. Violet grabs her arm and swings her back. No, I'm older. I'm doing it. If something happens to you, I can never go back home. Don't be dramatic, you two. I'll go. This was for me and what I want. No one else should have to suffer as a result of that. Chadwick gives her the vial, his hands grazing theirs a moment too long. Ducky holds the portion in her hand, holding it for dear life, and just as I think they were going back out, they down their portion. There are a few moments for complete silence, where all brace for the worst. My mind cycles through some horrific thoughts, but none of them come true. Instead, Ducky slowly expands, at first the size of the house cat, then a broom, until eventually she stands up about a head shorter than me. The group stands stunned, but none more than I. It truly went against the laws of nature to have so much beauty in human form. She pulls the antennae down and the wings disappear into her back. Oh wait, wrong button. Oh my god, look at them! She's human height now. So cute. I like that you can even see like the little pixie, the little fairy dust in her hair. That's a very nice detail. Well, how do you feel, lovely? Human. She laughs. They seem a little startled by their voice being so loud. Needy and Violet approach, shamelessly scoping every inch of them. Your breasts are huge! seriously, Needy, the first thing you say the first thing you look at is her boobs? Why? Why is that the first thing you look at? I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it too, but respectfully, okay? I cough out a laugh. They always were, but yes, I have to agree. Wow. Ladies, if we can focus. Violet puts up her hand. Hold on. The two continue to study. I even catch Chadwick doing the same, but Ducky looks more delighted than anything. I'm discovering something about myself, I think. Violet might be bisexual. Confirmed. Well, ladies, your turn. Violet intends to go first, but Needy chugs hers before her sister can stop her, with Violet following close behind. And the process repeats both of their own specific heights, equal to what they were as fairies. And look at them! It was unbelievable for it to happen once, but in threes. Needy's first act as a human is to feel herself up, and Violet's first is to slap her hand before to stop her. I think I'll just be able to put a patent on this and sell it. This is amazing, thank you. We're human. I can breathe a sigh of relief. He doesn't need to say it, but I know he wants to say he told me so. For once, I'm not bothered. I'm glad he told me so as well. Now remember, if you want to undo its effects, you simply need to take an annulment agent. Though I advise not to taking it till you're well settled into your home. Healers have speculated that shrinking and growing can put strains on the heart. It should be fine as long as you don't do it often. Conve- Convenient you left that part out. All spells and elixirs come with side effects. It's of low risk if you wait a season or two before growing again. Understood. I might never take it. Right? We'll have to go back home, Needy. Oh, yeah. Does this mean we'll be going to the Jamboree as humans? Looks like it. If we're to go, we best get out here before sunset. Before that, I need to have a word with Garrett. Everyone seems confused, but it's not long before the girls shrug it off. Chadwick seems take a little longer, but I give him a small, almost completely invisible smirk as Ducky leads me outside. The sun isn't quite set yet, but it's clear that the day is coming to a close soon. I can't believe it worked. What happened to all the faith you had from before? Well, I felt confident that you said until you said what you did. They were all fine points. I'm glad I didn't manage to talk you out of this. It's you're I'm what? Quite possibly the most attractive human I've laid my eyes on. A look of recognition a look of recognition, and she beams from the compliment. Her shoulders going red. I hadn't noticed that before. There's so much more to notice now. She'd always been there, but now only a step away. Ducky, the pendant is of yours. Is that your favorite flower? I like it, but it was from my grandmother. It was hers. You must have been very close. Yes, she was like my mother in a way. She was she was always understanding, calm, knew the right thing to say. As you can imagine, she was infinitely wise. So she begins to get a little choked up by the memory. You'd lo- you'd have loved her. I wish you could have met her. I'm sure I've met some part of her in you. I you know that don't you? That you carry her wherever you go? If I've lost loved ones and I keep the memory alive wherever I go. I reach out for their hand, one they give me for the very first time. Soft. I lead them over to the field. I lean, picking up a flower and placing it in her hair. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. There you go. It's like you have the entire fairy home in your hair. She shines from the brightness of her she shines from the brightness of her smile. Her laughter fills this idyllic place with pure song. My hand traces her face for the first time, and she holds my hand there. It's also strange, all of this. That suits us, though, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Garrett, what are we doing? What do you mean? Us, this. Now that we can be close like this. What do you want? I want what you want. I feel myself losing every string that held me back. Each one snaps with every second her eyes met mine. They're so close. I can't let things continue as they are. I can't go another day without knowing what it would be like to hold her. I want to be the one to make them smile just like this, to take away all the pain, to wipe away every tear. I want to be the only one who can kiss you. You want that? I want this too, as long as it feels right. Aww. As much as much like the two souls that had touched points before, we move at the same time, our lips colliding. I'm certain my heart all but stops. The daisy falls out of her hair beside her feet. Not that it matters. Nothing matters but this moment. It's magic, more than fairy dust, more than the portions, more than anything I'd ever experienced before. Their kiss is pure bliss. All the skills I learned completely abandon me as I find myself going numb, all two in my body at the same time. It starts so sweet, but as the reality sets in, her smell, her hand, my back, her taste, instinct takes over. I touch my tongue to theirs. A sweet sigh, a squeak follows, and our lips move together. I squeeze them against me, and they giggle my name. Long moments pass before I break away, just so I can look at them. Ducky, what did you want to say before? Oh, you escorted me. I nod. I wanted to spend more time with you. I feel the same. I can't quite get enough of you, as of late. Does that mean you've changed your mind? I've always sought after you. I never have. That never changed. But if you decide you wanted someone else, that hasn't changed for me either. I just didn't think you get it. I like this. I'd like to do it again if you allow me. Their eyes glaze over, and they purse their lips in such a way that makes me hate that it isn't just us. Our kiss was cut short by Ducky, who looks over my shoulder. Do you want them to know? They can know. I just don't want them to see me get ravaged. Ravaged? Well, isn't that an idea? Garrett, you really are a filthy old man. Oh yeah? What does that make you? A human woman with poor taste. That you are. You're wonderful, Garrett. Too good to me. Nothing's too good for you. I grip her chin, lightly pinching it. Let's not keep the others waiting. I know they're excited for tonight. It feels different around us. Every movement now controlled. There's much left to say, but I, for one, am in need of some unwinding more than anyone right about now. Violet gives me a suspicious look, but it's not my place to kiss and tell. I leave that for Ducky to say. I know once they find out they're never going to ease up on the teasing. A small trade-off. Would you like a shoulder massage now, Sir Bradmar? The grade A student looks all too pleased to accept the offer. Oh, never mind. I guess we're going now. See ya. Watching the look of eagerness melt off his face only adds to my ever-growing satisfaction. Moving on so quickly, Needy? Pathetic. That girl can surely do better than some whiz kid who peaked in the academy. Though I was grateful to the genius for at least one thing. Ducky trails behind me. Sun will set in half an hour. Should we get going? I can't wait. Thanks again, wizard. It feels wrong not to pay you. Payment isn't necessary. An outing with me will be payment enough. Ducky looks at me. I turn to stone. Apologies. I'm afraid I cannot. We'll be leaving tomorrow morning. I hope you'll accept some other form of payment. You all are leaving? Yeppers! He sighs. I won't ask for money from a lady. Violet nudges me. I was getting to it. I can have the money delivered to you in a couple of weeks. I'm a bit short. Forget it. What? Is it not enough? The knowledge today is worth far more than whatever money you can scrounge up. Besides, less money means worse accommodations for these beauties. I only require that you put in a good word with your order. I can do that. Then it's settled. He offers me a hand, and I take it firmly, and watch his face wince as I hold it. I relinquish it as a silent apology. Silent apology. Blech, can't read. I suppose there's much I can still learn from you, old-timer. Regarding? He casts a wayward glance at the trio. There's no trick to it. Any man who tells you otherwise is fooling you as well as himself. As otherworldly as they are, they're still people. Show genuine kindness and always be willing to learn. You'll be fine, kid. I pat him once on the shoulder, no wince this time, before releasing it and leaving the premises. After another trek through the forest later, fighting tooth and nail not to hold Ducky's hand, letting them dictate the pace at which they'd like to tell their sisters. We're back before the bee's apple. Alright, so I'm going to leave this video here for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.